So, are you allowing arrogance, know-it-alls, know-it-all energy? Are you allowing arrogance, arrogant people, arrogant um, friends, family members, know-it-alls? Are you allowing these people in your life? This is the topic today. So, ever since I was a kid, I've kind of dealt with a ton of know it all, arrogant energy. And I always feel in life there's two types of people. There's two types. The one type is the people that have intellectual IQ, intellectual intelligence, mind intelligence. They know a lot of things. And then there's a whole nother level, which is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. And this is a level that is really untapped by a lot of people, and especially a ton of people that have into intellectual intelligence, because there tends to be a disconnect a lot of times between the two. So, for example, when I grew up, it was in a family where there was a ton of intellectual IQ and intelligence. There was my mom was the highest mark in the university. My sister's a scientist. My brother, all of them are very, very smart. But what my family really has lacks in is going deep and doing some of that deeper work. And the problem is, and this is the arrogant problem, and let's just talk about arrogance and how disgusting it is, right? This is just my rant on arrogance today, is because people in this world can be arrogant about so many things. So you can be arrogant about what you have in life, like the clothes you wear. You can be arrogant about what house you live in, whether you own a house or rent a house. You can be arrogant about how successful you are, and how much achievements you had, how productive you are. And there really is a difference between arrogance and confidence. And you've probably heard it. Arrogance is this feeling like I'm better than you. And you feel it when you're surrounded by arrogant people. You never leave feeling that great about yourself, because that's the fucking problem with people that are arrogant. That's the whole point of arrogance, is to make others feel small and make you feel amazing. That's why when you hang around with arrogant, know-it-all people, you feel like shit afterwards, because they're not going to give you that many compliments to make you feel great about yourself, because they're trying to tip the scale, towards themselves being amazing and awesome. And it's so funny. And arrogance, as a kid, can come from a couple different ways. People can actually have insecurity, and that's why they have arrogance. They can actually be raised with parents that were judgmental, parents that were hypercritical, parents that were obsessed with all the things that didn't matter, like money, cars, fame, being popular, being skinny, having nice clothes, or hipsters. Hipsters is a fucking pandemic of arrogance. Oh my god, how many hipsters I've met that are so fucking arrogant. It's unbelievable. Um, and or you can get arrogance as a kid from parents overpraising their children, praising their children for things that aren't even just normal things that you should do, like doing the dishes, helping out, just Like, yes, you could say thank you for doing that, but sometimes it's like overdoing that where they think like, oh, they're special because they're helping out. You're not special because you're helping out. You're a decent human being. Everybody should be helping out, you know? You're like, this is the thing. There's even a thing I see with a lot of children where they have unearned confidence because their parents overpraise them all the time. They overpraise them. So they have this, they actually praise them for things that they're actually not that good at. So it gives them a false sense of confidence. Okay. The other thing is never teaching your children to have empathy for anyone else. Like if you're a mother that's a giver and you're giving all the time, you know, you don't make your kids do the dishes. You don't, you just do what your kids want to do all the time. You know, I used to do what my son wanted to do all the time. And on the weekend, and I'd start to get super pissed off. And I realized, yeah, because I'm making it all about him. And he's going to grow up and be a narcissist asshole that everybody fucking hates. You know, this is the problem. This is the problem with not teaching our, Johnny! Who's in the house? John DePaz, the man. Oh, love back to you, baby. Love back. Um, so, so this is the thing with raising our kids is like, you got to question, you know, if this person wasn't my kid, would you actually like hanging out with them? Like, would people like hanging out with your kid? You know, because this is, you know, as mothers, we put up with probably more shit than other people would put up with. So it's so important to make sure we're not raising assholes and narcissists, and we teach our kids to have consideration for other people and empathy. And this is the problem with arrogance, is sometimes people that are arrogant, it's because they were never raised with, they were never taught empathy. They were grown up to think they're the best and they're like God's gift to people. And it's hilarious because even my mom, who I dearly love, dearly has been a force in my life. When it comes to arrogance, super arrogant about a lot of shit. And she even has dreams of being like Mother Teresa and shit. It's insane. And the brutal thing, and this has been such a lesson on my path, is because I had parents and sisters and family that were definitely know-it-all energy, more arrogant, intellectual arrogance, the type of people that, and here, let's give some qualities of arrogance. Arrogant people do not take criticism very well. They're the type of people that it's super hard to bring things up with because they're very defensive. They think they're right all the fucking time. And they aren't very good at looking at themselves and going within and saying, oh yeah, maybe that was me. You know, they are the type of people that you walk on eggshells around too, because you're too scared of upsetting them, you know, or pissing them off, or, you know, they always think they know better. Another thing, a sign of arrogant people is they love giving advice. They love being the expert. They love to be the expert. They thrive on being needed, being the expert, anything that puts them into a position where they're better than you. You know what I mean? And I can say this because I was arrogant. I used to be that know-it-all, probably arrogant, annoying person where I just like, let me bestow my wisdom onto you. Because you're broken. You're broken. I'm great. You're broken. Let's just get this straight. My life is better. You see my life? You look at this? Look at this. Look at my house. It's amazing. You still rent? What the fuck? This is the problem with arrogance. This is the problem with arrogance. It separates us. The joke is people are trying to be arrogant to impress people, to get people to like them. This is the funniest thing. But the arrogance actually keeps people disconnected from you. You know, and the only people you're going to attract as arrogant as someone who's arrogant is codependent people. Codependent people that have low self-worth, that don't think any better about themselves. That's your target market. You know, if you're really arrogant, the people that can be abused. So it's so funny because I used to always seek the approval of the people that were more, had that intellectual IQ, and the people that were cooler. You know, even as a kid, if tell me if anyone's on this call, I want you guys to drop a comment about what your experience is with arrogant people and how that has, tell me a little comment. Is this something that you deal with in your life? um, I I feel like growing up in school, I never was the cool kid. I was, especially in elementary school, I was definitely not cool. I was friendly, not cool. And there was the popular group. And I had, and the popular kids, they were bitches, you know. They weren't very nice people, and it really affected me. And it was like there was this weird thing of like disliking them but wanting their approval. Like wanting to almost be like that in order to get that same kind of adoration, or you know, adoration from people. People to be like, "Oh, you're you know, ooh, you're so cool." And like, isn't this how it is with social media? Like, we all have a degree of arrogance in our lives. It's like, you know, oh yeah, like even with like my new surroundings here, it's like, oh yeah, I'm so much better than I used to be. Not like, this is the joke. um and I'm just, it's so funny. So I feel like my entire life I used to attract, like, I used to always have these hipsters and cool cat and like dudes that would be fucking awful and just think they were God's gift to people, and they would either like be into me and then ghost me, or I feel like even on my street, in my, there's definitely people that on my street that have a bit more financially, and they also have that arrogance to go with it. And I used to feel like I wanted their attention. You know, I used to feel like I would be striving for it. And now I have zero patience for it, zero tolerance, zero allowing. And it's an interesting thing on, and tell me, are you allowing arrogance in your life? Do you still have friends that are arrogant? Do you still have friends that are know-it-alls? Are you tolerating this? Are you saying, universe and God, please, Jesus, please God, send me more arrogant people? Like, and this is what happens. This is what happens in our life when we allow things. Whatever we allow keeps coming into our life. Whatever you allow. What are you allowing? Becky. Oh, hi, Becky. I love you. What do you say? Oh my gosh, I resonate. I always have a lot of these people with the know-it-all energy. And I'm going to tell you, it's an epidemic. The people that have not done the self-work, the deep, 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 we're talking emotional, inner child work. The people that say, oh, be grateful, don't complain too much, look on the bright side of things. When these people are giving you advice, you really got to look at it. You got to ask yourself, how emotionally intelligent is this person? Have they done the work? Do they actually know what the fuck they're talking about? Because the problem with people that have the psychics, the empaths, the intuitives, is for too long in their life, they grew up in families where they were the black sheep. Nobody in all of my clients' lives were emotionally intelligent, but they had a lot of family members that were know-it-alls, and that would bestow their wisdom onto them. Like, this is what you should do. This is, it's kind of like, don't do that. You should do this. Why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. And when you're opening up, they're putting you down. But you got to look at where your advice is coming from. What have these people, what is their relationship with themselves? How are they with confronting their own deep fears? Is it something, and the thing with arrogant people is they don't do the deep work. All my friends that have a lot of arrogance, like there's a few people, just women, and they're not just arrogance. It's this, attracted this thing with women that they're harsh with you and they take a bit of digs. Like, I had it with somebody that used to run this camp and, hey, no. That's my cat. I have new furniture and she's scratching the hell out of it. Okay. But where they're like a little bit harsh with you, like even like, hey, like I remember being at this camp and my friend was like running it and she's like, do you know where your kids are right now? She's like, you need to be aware of this at all times. And this is how they talk to you. And you're like, I used to put up with that. I used to be okay with that kind of being treated like that, And now I'm getting to the place where it's like, why am I okay with this kind of behavior? Like if I was to speak to somebody about something, I would choose my words in a kind way and be like, hey, have you ever thought of this? Or, oh, Susan, blah, 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 like your kids are, they need to be supervised at all time. Something like this. So it's like, why are you tolerating this? And the thing, there's a step-by-step process with people dealing with arrogance. The first step is being aware of it. So you got to be aware when you start to see, oh, why do I feel bad every single time I hang out with this person? Like, do I feel minimized? And here's some things that arrogant people are going to do. They talk about themselves all the time. Okay, so if you're around friends, they're always talking about themselves. They're talking about their children. They're not curious about your children, kind of thing. It's all about them and their life. That's one thing, okay? The second thing is they brag. They like to brag about what they have, what they do, all of these things. The third thing is they don't celebrate you. They don't celebrate what you're doing. They really keep it small. And what arrogant people they do not like, they do not like when your life is going good. This is a true test of friendship. It's very easy to be friends when their lives suck and you're giving them advice, especially for the know-it-alls. They love to bestow their wisdom onto you. So when you're down in the gutter, it's a great opportunity to bestow all their knowledge onto you. However, when your life is a true test of friendship, when your life starts to get really fucking great. Really fucking great. You start making a ton of money. You start getting confidence. You start standing up for yourself. You start saying your beliefs and saying, oh my God, I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest in this program. Oh my God, I just bought this house. I just did all this thing. And instead, you know who your true friends are? Because the ones that can celebrate with you. They truly care. They truly are like, oh my God, honey, that's amazing. Oh my God, tell me all about it. How did you do that? You've been working with this for so long. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Wow. Wow. I feel like my heart feels complete. Like I know how hard and what a struggle that's been for you. People that love you and care about you can celebrate you. And that's the thing. I had some friends that whenever I have good stuff going on, they hardly even compliment me at all. And here's the step-by-step process. You got to be aware. The first step, you got to be aware. You got to start being aware. Why do I feel like shit every time I hang around this person? 2, you don't want to step away from these people right away, because you got to get your voice back. You got to speak your truth. You got to get your voice. You got to be like, fuck, I don't like this. You know, you got to start speaking up. Hey, you know, when I'm around you, I feel like like I just shared something with you and you barely commented on it. You know, like, big thing. Or, you know, and this is another thing I find is, if you share something amazing, they'll critique. They love to just judge or critique or do anything, give you some advice to make you still feel like you're not doing enough. That's the thing of people that are arrogant. Or they top you and they stop you and top you. You know, the stoppers and toppers? Oh yeah, they're like, they stop your story and they tell you a better story, you know, about something cooler than their life. And this is actually something a lot of people do, and they don't even realize they do it. When you share something with somebody, do not tell them a story about yourself back. A lot of people do this to try to get to feel connectedness, like almost like you're on the same page. Oh, you have a story like that? I have a story. No, don't do that. Don't do that. When someone tells you a story about themselves, don't try to relate to them by telling them a story about yourself. Be interested in what they say. Wow. Oh my gosh, that must have been hard for you. How was that for you? Tell me more about this. Ask them a question. Too often, you know, even my ex would always tell a story about himself. And I was like, oh my God. It's just so selfish. But we all do it. I've done it. Tell me if you're on the call and you've done it, because let me tell you. But man, isn't it such a beautiful thing when people truly listen? When people truly listen and they truly are interested, and they ask questions, and they're showing you, I care about you. You're important to me. What you're doing is important to me. They're not on their phone, like, while you're talking, you know. They're not saying, oh yeah, I did that last week. Oh my God, yeah. Oh my gosh, you went to the cottage? I went to the cottage last week. It was awesome. Let me tell you about it. I just hit my head on this. This is the problem. Tell me, guys. Tell me your experience with the story stoppers and toppers. Okay. So first you got to do is you got to be aware. Second thing you got to do is you got to speak your truth. It gets caught in people's throat chakras. Okay. When people get trauma, it's stuck in the throat chakra. That means you got to express your truth. You're not going to be able to step away from arrogant mofos and think they're just going to stop coming into your life. You got to take your power back. Your voice is your power. Your voice is your protection. It's like saying, hey, that hurt my feelings. It hurts my feelings when you never ask me about myself. It hurts my, I had a girl, like one of my people in the program, she met a man, and he looks great on paper, has all these, amazing things going on, but never asked her any questions about herself. That's some arrogant fucking shit. So if this is you, and if you're like dating a person that is like into dating, these are the red flags and signs you want to look for, and you want to speak your voice. And I was so proud of her, because she said, hey, you never asked me any questions. You get online, you tell me about you, and you never asked me any questions. And I was like, fuck yeah. Because as kids, if we attract arrogant people, that now is because we had arrogant or selfish or narcissistic parents growing up. So part of your lesson is going to be to speak what you never got to speak as a kid. Okay, you can't step away and think it's never going to happen. So the other thing, and so this is where I'm at with arrogance and know-it-all and all this energy, and also people that take digs. Like, the Italian stallion flair, the European people that they take digs. They say it in a really harsh way. Yeah. Like, fuck that. That's where I'm at. Fuck that. I just got on the trail and I just literally, I was like, I got to do a prayer for my group. And my prayer is like this. Dear God, dear God, thank you for the awareness and the clarity that I have to be able to choose myself. Thank you for making me realize that I am worth more, that I deserve to be celebrated, that I deserve to be considered, that I deserve to be supported by my friends, by my family, that I deserve to be raised up by the people that love me and not pushed down and made to be small and not enough and less than. Thank you, God. Thank you for allowing me to not entertain this. Thank you for allowing me. When I was running on my trail today, I just had to say this. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to release this anger and resentment and hate that I have towards towards arrogant people that are obsessed with all the fucking minuscule, stupid shit in this life that doesn't fucking matter. You know, thank you for allowing me to let go of the hatred that I had. Honor it and let it go. And choose myself with this peace, with a sense of peace, with a sense of I'm done with this. No more. I choose love. I choose peace. I choose self-worth. I choose self-love. This is not okay anymore. I choose family. So I'm going to wrap it up. I love you. What did Becky say? Becky, I love you. That's so good what you said about stoppers and toppers. I know. We've all done it. We've all done it. But for anybody that's like tired, they feel like perhaps their community are people that they aren't able to really open up around. You know, I know with me when I hadn't done shadow work and the deeper work, I wasn't even being myself with the world. And the more and more and more I started to embrace my weirdo self, my emotional self, my sensitive self, my angry self. Because that's the thing. You can't get rid of arrogant folk without embracing your angry self. Because you got to get pissed off, right? Pissed off about it. You know, you get, like, oh, that really hurt my feelings. Fuck that. It's shitty. Arrogant people never get a taste of what it's like to have that arrogance come back at them. So it's so important. And as I started to embrace that side of myself, I started to and show it to the world, to show this weirdo self, my emotional self, and fearlessly express this side, to my parents, to my family. I don't have to pretend to be anybody to nobody. You know what? If that made sense. I can be totally myself. And because of it, my tribe, my community, everybody that I love started to come in and be a part. And my life is filled with love. How many of you want your life and your friends and your family to be filled with love? To be filled with authenticity and real conversations? If you do, jump on a call with me. Get in my program. Get in. Because I'm telling you, it's not, you can't put a price tag on love. You can't put a price tag on this. And if you're trying to attract, I realized, even for myself, with attracting the man, the love of my life, that I needed to get over being attracted to these guys that were like, they look like they're very cool, too cool for school. You know what I mean? Too cool for school. And that I had to start to see, oh, the guys that I really like, I just feel good around. The people that I really love, I just feel lit up around. Like there's no trying to seek or get their attention or prove or impress or any of it. Because you just feel good and they're just warm and welcoming and all of the above. You just feel good. And that's even on my street where I live. The people that I spend the most time around are the people that just make me feel amazing. Anyone else that has this better than art thou kind of attitude, I'm just like, fuck it. And they may not be the coolest people by cool standards or like whatever. But who do you have in your life that you're putting up with, that you're tolerating? I want to know. So, book a breakthrough call if anybody wants change like this in their life. They want to get rid of toxicity, the vampires, the haters, any of this kind of arrogance that is not, you can't want a different life and keep allowing something into it. You have to have a death and a rebirth. Anyone want a rebirth? Jump on a breakthrough call with me. Let's create some fucking change in your life. I love you guys. Peace, love, happiness. Enjoy your